What are the best low handicap irons that have been released this year? Well, in this video, we test 6 of the most popular sets of irons to see if we can find out which set is the best. So far I've done this experiment with mid-handicapped irons, high-handicapped irons, and even drivers. But now it's this kind of low-handicapped range. Now I would say golfers from under probably 10 handicap and less, this is the kind of clubs they'll be looking at. Now the other thing as well, we've not gone for blades, like we've gone for a set of irons which I think would suit majority of low handicap golfers. And realistically, there's not loads of differences between bladed golf clubs, like they're so similar, it's ridiculous. So in this lineup, we've got the Taylormade P7CBs, we've got the new Golf VGI01, we've got the Takomo 301CB, we've got the Titleist T100s, we've got the Wilson Staff model, we've got the Ping Blueprint S. And how we're going to judge this is on 5 categories: looks, feel, distance, carry distance, shot accuracy, and then price. And each time the clubs will be ranked from top to bottom. The best performing in that category will get the most points, and in my opinion, the worst performing clubs in that category will get the least amount of points. Kicking things off with looks. Now this is really, really hard. Like, it's really hard. Like, that's basically asking me to choose what's my favorite kid. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't, but for this experiment, I've had to. Now, I think they look so similar to each other. There are little preferences that I've picked up on. We've actually decided in this particular test to do half points on looks. So you're not getting full points on looks, it's half points. In my opinion, and it's honestly, it's so close, it's ridiculous. I hate to even say it, the worst looking clubs in this lineup are, and I understand this is subjective, is the Ping Blueprint S. I'm sorry, because I love the look of them. I had to make a decision. Then I'm going Wilson Staff model. Then I'm going Titleist T100. Then I'm going Takomo 301CB, Golf VGI01, Taylormade P7CB. I had to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. Now, another category that was also difficult to judge them on was feel, but there was subtle differences, enough for me to award it maximum points again. And again, I can't believe I'm saying this, but in last place in this lineup, the worst feeling irons in this lineup, and this doesn't mean they're bad feeling irons, I just want to make sure you know that, but the worst in this lineup was the Titleist T100s. So they get 1 point for that. Still feel really good, but just not as good as the rest of the clubs. In second last place was the Ping Blueprint S, which possibly I would have expected. Ping don't always make the best feeling golf clubs. Great performance, but not always the best feel. Then I'm actually going to go to the Taylormade P7CBs in 4th place, the VGI01 in 3rd place, the Takomos in 2nd, but in 1st place, the best feeling irons, and to be honest, by a country mile in this lineup, are the Wilson Staff model. I've used Wilson clubs in the past. I always do genuinely think they make the best feeling irons out of every single brand. And then we're going into distances. Now, 3 of the sets here, the Titleist, the Wilson, the Takomo, are all 34 degrees of loft. The strongest loft in this lineup is the Vice irons with 31 degrees of loft in the 7-iron, but these are all standard lofts as you would buy them off the shelf without being altered at all. In last place, with 167 yards of carry distance, was the Takomo irons, so they get 1 point. In joint 4th place, so they're getting 3 points each, was the Titleist T100s and the Wilson Staff, both the 170 yards carry distance. Nice and solid for a 7-iron. In 3rd place with 171 yards of carry, not much in it, but still slightly longer, was the Taylormade P7CBs. They're lofted at 33 degrees, so you'd expect maybe that little bit of extra distance. In 2nd place was the Ping Blueprint S, 33 degrees of loft, so getting 172 yards of carry on average. And in 1st place, I suppose they are the strongest lofted clubs in this lineup at 31 degrees for a 7-iron, was the Golf VGI01, carrying 177 yards on average, therefore gets the full marks in the carry distance category. Okay, before I come on to the next point, I also want to mention how much I genuinely loved testing these irons. And it was hard separating between them. Obviously going through all these different testing categories does separate them out, but they're all fantastic, like really, really good sets of clubs. Now, when it comes to shot accuracy, how we were doing it, we weren't going for a green as such, because again, if I hit one super long, if one of them was stronger lofted, etc., and missed a green long, it wasn't fair to downgrade that. So anything that was 15 yards to the right or 15 yards to the left of the straight line was considered the miss. Everything else would have been effectively on the green. This is really interesting. In joint third place, I suppose it is, in joint third place was 4 sets, all with 90% shot accuracy. That was the Titleist T100s, the Taylormade P7CBs, the Takomo 301s, and the Wilson Staff model irons. They all had 90% shot accuracy. I mean, I'd be happy with any of that. I mean, I was striping it. Every one of them felt like it was down the middle line, but I suppose these clubs kind of suit me and my golf a little bit more. In joint first place with 100% shot accuracy was the Vice Golf irons and also the Ping Blueprint S. They had 100% shot accuracy. At the moment, before we even get into price, the Vice have got a healthy lead. For me, they look one of the best, they feel one of the best in distance and the best in shot accuracy. But can the price alter the total outcome? So how we did this, we scoured the internet to find the average price of these irons right now and then priced it per club. In last place, with the most expensive irons effectively, was the Ping Blueprint irons, priced at £189 per club. So that only gets 2 points. In joint second to last place was the Titleist T100s and the Taylormade P7CBs, both priced at £178 per club. In third place, priced at £142 per club, is the Wilson Staff. Second place, Vice Golf VGI01s, priced at £136 per club. But in the first place in this category, by honestly, such a big difference, £92 per club are the Takomo irons. Considering how good they are, I think that price is unbelievable. So then we come to the final results. Now, bearing in mind, as I've said throughout this whole test, obviously it's slight, subtle differences between these clubs, but I think it's been a really interesting and fun experiment. Unfortunately, in last place, and I actually can't believe I'm saying this, is the Titleist set of irons. I think the biggest thing that let it down was potentially the feel. And I mean, it's hardly anything in it, but they were the worst feeling clubs in this lineup, which I didn't expect to be saying. In fifth place, with 15.5 points, was the Ping Blueprint S irons. I think price definitely let these down. Everything else, really, really solid. In fourth place, Taylormade P7CBs. I probably envision a couple of things letting down. A little bit of price definitely let these down. And they were kind of just middle of the road all the way throughout this test. Didn't really win any category, but also didn't lose any of the categories. In joint second place was the Takomo and the Wilson irons with 18 points. And if I'm honest, I think if I could have awarded the Wilson irons more points for feel, I would have done. Like, they honestly are the best feeling irons in this category. And the Takomo are so good for value for money. Like, outrageously good for value for money. But in a bit of a shock, in a real shock, in some of these heavy hitters of the game, you've got Taylormade, Titleist, Ping. Out of all these clubs, the ones that have pretty much dominated this test are the Vice irons. The VGI01s with 23.5 points. They almost won every category. They did either first or second in pretty much every single category. And therefore, in my opinion, doing this test, the best irons this year for low handicap players. Again, this is subjective, it's my opinion, but I found that they were very, very good performance. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come. If you haven't checked out the high handicaps or mid handicap reviews of these, check them out. And I've also done a driver one as well. Some shock results. Some real shock results. Again, I've not been able to test every single set of irons that have been brought out in this category, but these are 6 sets that I think are very popular and definitely worth a head-to-head. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, lots more to come, and we shall see you next time.